Well, the Longhorns had to grind it out, but in the end, it was UTSA Roadrunners that would go on to win the regional there in Austin to advance to Super Regionals. You know, you have to give credit to the Texas Longhorns. From where they started this season, being they were a top 20 team at the time. I think they were ranked 18 or 19th according to D1 Baseball. And to just completely take the SEC by storm in their first season is absolutely, nobody would have expected the Longhorns to actually do what they did this season. And under first year head coach Jim Schlossnagle. Now we all know Jim Schlossnagle has a history of turning programs around. Look what he did at Texas A&M in just a few short seasons, getting them to the College World Series, getting them to the national championship game, getting them, outs away from possibly winning a national title if the Aggies had actually were able to kind of, get the offense going there last season against Tennessee. So, what the Longhorns did this season was truly remarkable in college baseball. To go from, like I mentioned, a top 20 team to all the way to a top 5 team, and then eventually becoming the number 1 team in the country and kind of holding that number 1 spot for just weeks, honestly. Now, of course, injuries kind of started to take its toll there towards the end of the season. Depth became an issue. When you lose your Friday night starter in Jared Spencer, that becomes really tough to kind of rebound. Now, they had guys come out of the bullpen. Ruger Rojas was actually great yesterday in that matchup against Kansas State. And the Longhorns needed that. They needed him to pull through. I wish they would have scored more runs, or actually, I wish they would have just, kept Kansas State at bay and actually would have 10-run rolled them, and then they could have had maybe a little bit more time to kind of rest before gearing up against UTSA there in the nightcap. But I think injuries took their toll. I think these guys were just remotely tired. It was a grueling season. They had to battle and grind. It was a gritty bunch of group. So I really think that was the main issue for the Longhorns this season, was just the depth and trying to battle through, and it just caught up with them there at the end. I think when they go into this summer and they'll look at the portal and see what kind of guys they can get, I really think this Longhorns team is going to rebound. I think we'll see them in Omaha next year. So Longhorns fall to UTSA there in the regional, but you know what? UTSA is a scrappy bunch. And stay tuned later on this week. I'm going to put out something to cover the Super Regional for UTSA as they look to head to Southern California to take on the Super Regional. So thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Go Horns. Unfortunate. We'll see what happens next season. Take care, guys.